Hey there, Hollywood fans. Welcome to this week's show. So as you can see, if you look at the calendar, the days are running out. The rains have already arrived with us, and it's going to be a spectacular end of the season. Last weekend, me and the boys were out at Verena for the penultimate round of the GXCCs, and it was one of the most raceable tracks out there for the juniors, quads, and the motorbikes. A lot of the championships did get wrapped up on the day, but the rest of them will go down to the final round. But this was Verena. It was a banger.
All this GXCC racing action is proudly brought to you by VW Mastercars Hatfield in association with Vans Racing. As the 2025 GXCC season draws to a close, the penultimate round heads back to Verena. Nail-biting times in all the championships. It also brings us into Cancer Awareness Month, so this, as it's known, is the pink race. It's GXCC time once again as we close in on the end of the season, the penultimate round out here at Verena, and it's Cancer Awareness Month as well, so everything is going to be pink. V, looks like you've laid out a banger.
Yeah, Matt, we were so fortunate we actually got some extra land that we've never raced on before. 2 sections on either end of the farms, and let me tell you, it's beautiful. It's so much different terrain that we're going to see, that the guys are going to have here today. It's, you know, everything that you can think of for a proper cross-country race.
As always, before the morning race for the quads and juniors, we go take a little lap. Blakey, close to the end of the championship. Tell me how you're feeling going into this one.
I'm feeling good. I tried my hardest to win the championship, but it's paying off.
It's getting close, eh? You're in Paltzer, is it?
Yeah.
Tell me about the terrain out here. Have you ridden Verena before, and what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about it's going to be pretty flat, but you need to watch out for the half dip and keep.
Coop, first full season of GXCCs. How's it gone so far?
The season has been going really good. I've been feeling good these past few rounds, and hopefully I can get to the end of the year maybe.
Got some good experience the other week out at Lesotho. It kind of feels like that down here in Verena, doesn't it?
Oh, I think it's going to be a good one then.
Francois, you hammered it at the beginning of the season. End of the season's a little bit scary now, hey?
Yeah, I know. The last couple wasn't good, but we're all fixed up now, I suppose. So we'll give it our all today. I think it's going to be choppy, but we'll just take it and see how we go and bring it home safe.
2 rounds to go. Everyone's got the calculators out here at Verena.
Yeah, I know it's getting close, but I don't know where all the guys are. You know, the end of the year seems like the guys are falling out and so on. So it makes it a little bit easier, though, you know, points-wise. But we'll see how it goes and just take it as it comes. You know, take it easy. Finish this one, finish the last one, and then we should make it. We should be fine, hopefully.
Right, morning pit walk done. Let's take him to the line. Like Smallberger was saying, thin on the gates for the quads, but those in the championship were here on the line. Start things out with the Q1s. First flag drop of the penultimate round of the GXCCs out at Verena. Smallberger almost stalled it off the line. Wolfart did stall it off the line, and it meant that Sean Kutzer was going to be running clear air with Big Smallberger chasing into the dust. A surprising amount of dust kicked up in the morning session with almost 0 wind. For the Q2s, Rian Dick, the return of Hannes Simon. Great to have Hannes back with us and the entire EMD QCon racing squad. And of course, JJ Baitenbach trying to get the job done there. Quad Masters, the whole shot superstar and our consistently biggest quad gate of the season. Steph Bester up the road ahead of Fernando dos Santos. For the veterans, just 2 of the very best going out there, the guys that are dicing it out for the championship. For QCon EMD, Darby DeVet, and for the Desanti, Roxy. The Ladies Championship giving us 3 riders on the gate. A stall out coming in for Liesl Simon. meant that Danielle Esthuizen and Celeste Berger, the top 2 runners in the championship, would be the top 2 ladies heading on out. Then we change gears and go back into the wild bunch of the juniors. Senior 85s to Keng Marahi, Ulrich Furry, Rod Potgieter, and Nico Militsani. The big swingers going off the big gates. The 107, as always, getting that absolutely rock star pull off the whole shot. Junior 85s, the machine, Jean-Luc van der Westhuizen, Zach Stubbs, Volker de Bloy, and Declan Richards. A wild championship, this one, for sure. Revs go high for the 65cc pros. Alexander Nemeth on the J555, always so good off the gate. Seb Nell and Kellen Van Deventer, big runners in the championship. This is going to be an incredibly tough championship for next year. And then on the 50cc's, the championship hopeful, Blade Kruger ahead of MJ Skitter, Martin van der Berg, and Jack Peltzer. Second place in the championship, Peltzer, 4th out the gate. Kruger was gone. Junior lap, I went out yesterday, pretty much grassland, going to be quite choppy. Take us through the junior loop.
The last couple of races, the farms were in laid out in such a way that we had faster races. Here we have a lot of places where we can get the guys to do a lot of turns and bring the speed down. It's choppy out there. The kids are going to be busy. I know the dads always say, bring the speed down. This is what it's going to be. The speed is definitely going to come down. They're going to be busy. No water splashes. One little crossing that they go through with hard rocks underneath it. But other than that, they're just going to be busy, choppy, and they're going to be tired at the end of this race.
Let's go out onto the track then, climb those ladders, and check out on the little dudes. Good gates this season on the 50cc's. Caleb de Vet only managing to tag a one-lapper. It was Janus Ekstein and MJ Skitter who eventually were in the big dice for the 7 and 6, with Nason Zavotsky getting it done to a number 5. Zavotsky has come on real good in the second half of the season as he now understands how to go out and attack the GXCCs. DJ Blum dancing his machine up to a number 4, and Martin van der Berg also steady improvements at the end of the season sees him take down his highest finish of the season. Jack Peltzer didn't get the gate that he wanted, the man that ran second place in the championship, but he managed to climb the ladder up to a number 2 spot. But it was Blake Kruger who hammered the field, taking almost 7 minutes out of the rest to take another win, and looking like he's already wrapped up the championship. The last round for him will be a glory run. In the 65cc pros, Maklele Mofokati into a number 6. Kellen Van Deventer would have been hoping for a higher finish than a number 5. He had some issues on the day, dropping him 1 lap off the lead runners. Seb Nell climbing the ladder and starting to outgrow the 65. Potentially one of the riders that will look to move up into the junior 85s for next season. Lincoln Deister consistently improving, especially in the second half of the tour. Gets himself up to a number 3. He had a really good gate, which meant he was going to stay on the lead lap. The top 4 riders staying on a 5-lap count. The whole shot superstar and the early runner in the championship, Alexander Nemeth on the J555 up to a number 2. And then Ulrich Sturley, who's come on strong at the end of the season, takes yet another win to hammer the nail on his competition. Junior 85s was always going to be a wild one. Julian van der Berg looking like he has found his form. This is one of the toughest gates in the morning session though. Van der Berg to a number 8. Harvey Hine was a number 7 with Dylan Baldock, the biggest kid on the gate, having that dice between himself and Hine to see who was going to get a number 6. It was Baldock, the big kid on the gate, that walked away with the big number 6, taking the last step of the podium. Hine got knocked down to a number 7. Declan Richards, who's had an up and down season on the Vans Racing Husky, has a solid day at the office there to get himself to a number 5. He'll have been relatively happy with that run. Just trying to find his groove at the latter half of the 2025 championship. Up the road from him was his teammate Jean-Luc van der Westhuizen, the whole shot superstar, also having problems on his run on the day, but he had all of the big players around him in the early part of the run. Milan, Stubbs, Deploy, van der Westhuizen all duking it out for the top placings. Eventually van der Westhuizen would lose out, dropping down to a number 4, with Volker Deploy jumping up to a number 3. Big dice though was going to be between Stubby and Milan. The great story was The top 4 runners separated by less than a minute, showing how tight that championship really is. There can only be one winner on the day, though. The second half of the season has been all about Derek Milan really finding his groove on his machine, just edging out Stubby. 15 seconds was the advantage at the end of the day. After the big hole shot, the 107, Takeng Marahi had problems on his machine, eventually having to drop down to a number 8 whilst being in a podium position. Alexander Kompon was a number 7, and Kanyani Masito improved himself on the season and on the day to a number 6. Nico Malatsani also looked like he went out the front door a couple of times, had some damage on his machine from about lap number 2, and would drop down to a number 5. Tamaka Marahi, another rider showing steady improvements to get himself up to a number 4, with Twane Tienpont, the Iron Girl or Iron Woman of the championship for Gravity Racing, gets her good job done into a number 3. The top 2 were all over each other though, with Royal Podkita, the top Yami, taking it down to a second place, and Ulrich Fourie was just dialed in for miles, never looked back after taking the big run off the gate. And the UB Leisure KTM Pro saw the checkers at Verena. Let's confirm those numbers then. Fourie takes an absolute banger of a race win at the penultimate round ahead of Podkita, Tienpont, Marahi, Malatsani, Masito, Kompon, and Marahi. The senior 85s giving as eye-wateringly fast lap times in the morning session. Derek Milan takes one down ahead of Stubby, Deploy. Van der Westhuizen and Richards make it a Vans Racing Husqvarna 3 and 4 ahead of Baldock, Hein, and Vanderberg. For the Pro 65s, Ulrich Sturley has come on like a freight train at the end of the season, just edging out Alexander Nemeth by 2 seconds at the end of the morning's race. It was Deister, Nell, Van Deventer, and Mafakati taking us to the top 6. And then in the Pro 50cc's, Blake Kruger hammers the competition. Over 7 minutes was his eventual race-winning margin ahead of Peltzer, Vanderberg, Blum, Zavotsky, Skitter, Eckstein, and De Wet. Looks like Kruger has done enough to nail down the big number 1 plate. Hold your breath as we go forward into the quads. For the quads, it's a big one as well. 51 kilometers, arguably one of the biggest tracks of the season, and it's also going to be extremely mixed terrain.
Yeah, Matt, we could have made it 70 kilometers. There's enough land. I actually laid it out, and then I said, no, we're going to have to cut this piece out and that piece, and just to make it shorter. Beautiful, beautiful terrain, very choppy in some sections, some soil erosion that took place on the other side of the road, which we've cut a big piece out, but other than that, they're going to be busy out there as well. Grass sections, beautiful river sections, they're going to have a lot of fun out there.
The big 51k lap would be debuted by our quad racers, with the Q1s and the Q2s opening things up. They'd be followed by the rest of the categories. For the quad ladies, 3 ladies going out there: Celeste Berger, Liesel Simon, and Danielle Esterhazen. It was a big stall out off the gate for Liesel Simon, but she did improve and climb the ladder. Esterhazen going down to 3rd place, Simon up to a number 2, and Celeste Berger was gone, the only lady on the gate out at Verena to stay on the lead lap, getting 3 point scoring laps under her belt. For the quad vets, just 2 riders lined up. Tony Dos Santos eventually would have to park the bike around about lap number 2. He had terminal issues on his machine. Davy De Wet, Captain Consistency on the QCon EMD racing machine, got yet another win. In the Quad Masters, which gave us our biggest quad entry of the Verena event, we saw Francois Swanepoel, normally a 2-wheel racer, getting himself up there and getting 1 lap under his belt to understand how tough things are out there for the quads. Bernardo Fivas was there for number 5. Karamba Jabi, very solid numbers on his championship as well. 1 step off the big box drops him down to number 4. Fernando Dos Santos, who is in the big fight for the championship, 2nd off the gate, he would drop down to a number 3. That meant Roxy Dos Santos on a Honda was going to come through. Historically, a Yamaha rider through and through, changing up late on in the season. Roxy gets number 2, but Steph Bester untroubled on the championship and on the day once again with another big win. In the Q2s, 3 of the best went out there. JJ Baitenbach got a number 3 with just 2 laps under his belt, so he had some issues there on the day. Rian Dick improved his lot in the championship to take down a number 2. That should see him running good numbers in the championship, and it was a return of the big dog, Hannes Simon. Lastminute.com found a gap in his crazy racing calendar, came racing and hammered the field. In the Q1s, Tiaan Wolfart, after a stall out off the line, would stay on the lead lap in the Q1s and take down a number 3, Sean Kutzer, who got the whole shot, would take a number 2. And Francois Smallberger, who was biting his fingernails at the beginning of the day, would walk away with a win and edge ever closer to that coveted number 1 plate come the end of the season. That was a happy look across to the checkers. So confirmation of Smallberger taking down the win at the penultimate round ahead of Kutzer and Wolfart. Q2s, the big dog Hannes Simon gets his name back on the top step. Steph Bester beats out on the DeSanti, Roxy and Fernando to a 2 and 3 with Jarby in a 4. Davy de Vet beats out Antonio dos Santos for the vets, and Celeste Berger beats out Liesl Simon and Danielle Esterhuizen for the ladies. Before we go into the afternoon session, let's check in with our good friends out at VW Mastercars Hatfield.
Sure. All over for you too. Looking for a great deal on the quality used cars? Welcome to Hatfield VW Mastercars. We have a variety of cars from buggies to hatchbacks. Every vehicle is checked for quality and performance, and we offer easy financing budget for everybody. Visit us today at Hatfield VW Mastercars Pretoria and drive home with your next car for less.
Exciting times for everyone arriving at Verena for the afternoon race. This is where championships started to get a bit more serious. For the afternoon race, the big story is obviously points on the plate. Everyone's got their calculators out. The bikes, you can see the guys biting their fingernails, V.
Yeah, you look at it and guys are phoning during the week and saying, how does this throwaway work? Because if I look at this and that, so it's always worked the same way. 8 rounds, 1 throwaway. Doesn't matter how many rounds you actually compete in. One of them, your worst one, will be thrown away. You have to start the race. But yeah, when you start looking at those points, it's getting close in a lot of the classes. Some championships might be decided today, but quite a few of them will only be decided at the last round.
Join us for the pit walk, where we chat to some of the players. Zoria, you're the pinkest lady out there. Tell me about the season, because it looks like you've got a setup absolutely dialed coming into this event.
Well, I missed 4 of the races, but it's been going good these last 2 races. Just trying to finish every race. I don't really have a plan because I'm not in the championship.
Yeah, but the crew from Middelburg, they've been looking after you big time, eh?
Very good. I love my new pit crew.
What about the ladies racing as well? Because you can see there's more and more and more girls on the gate every single time we go out.
It's quite intimidating, especially Tiane, the youngest rider against us, but she's crazy good. But I love having a lot of ladies on the gate.
Chris, everyone's been talking about the big improvements this season. What's made the difference, brother?
Just went to the gym a lot and practicing with my dad and everybody.
Seems like you've got a good setup on the bike as well. Talk to me about your bike.
Yeah, it's going fast, but not too fast for me in the corners. It's just a bit too much power in the corners and everything. But yeah, it's going okay.
Webby, pretty solid season so far. Tell me about it.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Last 6 races has been pretty good. We've been keeping it up there, lying second in the championship. Gonna keep it going, try to get a first today, second last race. Gonna try to get a win and get out there, go.
It seems like 2 years ago everything was red. Now you're kind of like the top Honda now.
Yeah, everything was lost 2 years ago. Just got in on the cover, didn't know what we were expecting, and now all grinding, getting ready. Yeah.
Kevo, great to see the new brand coming in here. First time the Triumphs have raced at the GXCCs.
Yeah, no, it's a whole new journey for us and everything to get the Triumphs here, get exposure, show the people the bike, and we're super excited to be racing. I mean, we've got myself and Sharon on the bikes. We've got a pro and a slow. There we go.
Pro and a slow.
A pro and a slow, just to make sure we cover all ends of the spectrum. But yeah, excited. It's perfect weather for riding. I mean, I think that a little bit of drizzle we had is going to help with the dust. So it's going to be awesome. Super excited to line up.
Stubby, banger season so far. What do you got for us today?
Obviously, I've missed out the past few races, so that's put me down in the rankings. But just looking to put foot today and see what I can do.
It's a good track for you, though. You should remember some of the sections from Farm Jam from a couple of years back.
I actually can't remember this race, believe it or not, so it's all going to be new to me again.
Janko, tell me about the season so far. We're here at Verena, but it's been going well for you.
Ja, ek is eerste in die championship. Ek het nogals goed gedoen in die begin van die jaar. Die eerste 3 races gewen. So ja, ek hoop maar ek wen vandag. Ja. En ja.
Seems like a good setup here at the team. It looks like you and Francois work well together.
Ja, ons ry lekker saam. Ons oefen ook by die huis lekker saam. So ja.
When I was back at Verena, I love this place. What do you think?
Yeah, man, it's actually quite funny. The last 2 GXCs that have been here, I was injured, I didn't ride it, but we had a farm jam, which I rode the route, but there was that side in the mountains, which is absolutely awesome. But everybody says it's an awesome route, so it's going to be new for me, so I'm super excited, eh?
I'll ask about the injuries. Are we good?
Yeah, getting there. The knee's good. The thumb's still giving me a little bit of troubles, just for that gripping strength. But otherwise, dude, at my age, we shut up and we ride and we enjoy, eh?
I walk around the pits. Usual contenders are here, Old Hole and Warwick.
Yeah, they're all good. They're all here. Warwick was also fighting fit with injuries, so yeah, hopefully he's all good. Peter's just like an ox, you know what I'm saying? Nothing ever hurts that guy, so we're going to chase him today and let him chase us as well. Let's see what happens.
Verena, always very mixed terrain. Good for a little bike.
Yeah, it seems kind of similar to Lesotho 2 weeks ago, so I'm hoping I can use that as an advantage to capitalize on it.
Tell me about the setup on the bike. You look like you've got it dialed this year.
Yeah, it's been very good. We've prioritized the higher speed races and it seems to have worked. We've done a lot of testing and it seems to have really paid off.
Sharon, the big story last week, they announced Factory Pro once again.
Yeah, pretty much, eh? The project came around and the guys at Triumph are really doing something cool, so I'm super excited just for this new project and adventure with them. I think it's going to be so good. The bike is pretty sick. They got a long history within motorsport, so it's cool to bring them into SA and go racing with them.
What do we say? Starting on a strong base, eh?
Yeah, 100%, exactly. We can only get better from here.
Little dudes everywhere.
Oh, it's so fantastic. That's what the sport is, it's so cool. And that's a new manufacturer getting involved here, growing the sport, doing some cool things, some cool vibes, cool people, and a good time racing again.
Kerbis, you're looking fresh, your bike's looking fresh, but I think it might get a little bit dirty out there today.
I was hoping it was going to rain to let the dust settle down a bit, so hopefully it rains a bit more, then it's going to be a nice track.
We've all kind of raced Verena, whether it's GXCC, 424 or Farm Jam, so you've got a good vibe for this place, eh?
Yeah, first race here was after my 85 championship, so it's good to be back here. Hopefully I can cleanse this one today and then it's going to be nice.
Maddie, also like Scotty, coming off a burner just the other week at the Nationals, so you've got to feel pumped for this one.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm looking forward today. We'll be back at Verena. We've raced here twice, I think, so the ground's going to be new. I'm excited for today.
Everyone's talking about the weather. Obviously, it's starting to roll in. Your thoughts?
I think it's a good thing. I mean, driving in here, I was like, oh, it's going to be a mudder. Got here, it's a dust ball. So I'm kind of glad the rain's starting to come. So, no, I think the pink race today is going to be good.
You and Karama once again?
Yeah, myself, Peter, we're always going to be banging bars out there. So, yeah, I'm excited for that and it's going to be a good day.
Any goals to try and climb the ladder for the 450s? Because it looks like maybe a mid-sized bike track.
Today I just want to try and finish today, get the championship done, because coming into the last GXCC, it's going to be national combined with the GXCC. So that's my main goal. So if I can just wrap up today, I'll be happy.
Peter, Verena, and you're on a burner. Tell me how you're feeling.
Hey, I'm very good. Came from the national, so yeah, let's see how today goes. Keen to do some racing.
I think everyone came back with a perfect setup from Lesotho because it was rough, eh?
I think, yeah, I went softer for Lesotho and then I went back to my normal setting, and then I was like, no, I like the softer bike a bit more, so yeah, I went halfway in the middle about. So yeah, we'll see how that works today.
Zan's on a ripper this season, and Verena should be a good track for you.
We hope so, Matt. I must say, yes, coming in here, looking at the track and seeing all the anthills yesterday, it's sick. I must say, it puts the nerves quite shallow in the belly. So yeah, I think the plan for today is just going to be like bring it home safe, battle it out on the last round if need be, but rather make the last round than not make the last round. So yeah.
Everyone's talking about the length of the track as well, 51 Ks. We just saw the lap record come in for the quads of a 53 minutes. So we're thinking you pros can do maybe a 45?
Well, let's see what we can do. Yeah, because they do say it's not as fast. So I think if we can do like a minute a kilometer, I think it'd be kind of sweet.
Roost, after all these years, you must know Verena, but this is going to be a busy one.
We haven't been here in a while, so it's good to be back. It seems like we're in a total different part of Verena compared to the last time that we were here. I had horrid luck the last time I was here. It's before I believed in mooses, so I got a rear wheel puncture in the first half of the first lap. Devastated. So I'm here for some redemption. Mooses, new bike, let's go.
And how much fuel?
Oh,
all of it.
Yeah. Everyone that brought fuel today, I've got it right here. So that's my fuel stop strategy. Lots of weight, but yeah, no, it's going to get me to the end.
Just to wrap up the season for me as we close in on the end, how's it been for you this season?
It's been a battle. I've had a solid season. I felt the best I have ever felt on the bike. I've gelled well with the new bike. It's just the competition is tough out there. The guys are fast, they're bringing the heat, and yeah, it's been great. It's good racing.
Scotty H coming off a national win. Obviously the confidence is way up there now.
Yeah, no, obviously the national win was a really good confidence boost and a reward for all the work we've put in with the team and with Kev. So yeah, but new race, new opportunities, new challenges. So today I think it's going to be really cool. But ultimately the weather is promising a little bit of rain. So if that holds up, it will be cool. But if not, we're going to be riding in a bit of rain, which will make it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, ultimately just here to put in some consistent laps, do some like sort of endurance training, because national's only a couple of weeks out, and obviously that's the main goal. The points are slightly off in my not in my favor, so we're gonna have to put a lot of work in. But ultimately today, put in some good laps, do some like training, so to speak, testing, try some new things on the bike and see if they work, if they don't work, and then obviously put our heads down for the last couple of weeks before the nationals and then finish the year off strong.
And you stood here with your super fan. Tell me about him.
Yeah, no, been trying to help out little Blakey as much as possible, like the last couple of weeks and stuff. And yeah, obviously he just took his 50cc win, which is really cool. And obviously all his hard work is paying off. I don't think it's much of mine, because like I just try and tell him what to do, but ultimately he does all of it. So yeah, and he absorbs all of the information like a sponge, which is really, really cool. And obviously I think all about the motorsport is all about giving back in one form or the other. So it's really special to watch the younger generation come through and being able to give them, even if it's a little bit of knowledge, it really just fulfills me just as much as myself racing. So yeah, it's really cool to watch the juniors out there and them rip laps. I think that's the most special part about racing. We're all here in the pits, but ultimately we're one big happy family.
Matty, late in the season on a burner, hey?
Yeah, we've got the last two wins under our belt, so yeah, looking to hopefully try carry on the momentum today. It's going to be quite dusty out there, so I think the start's going to be important. But yeah, feeling good. The bike's unbelievable. Got to give it up to the whole team, the Everest Wealth, Ridgeway Racing, Yamaha, my mechanic Johanna, my team owner Harry. Thanks so much, guys. We've honestly done so much this year. I'm looking forward to next year. But yeah, today's going to be, I think, quite an important day to just kind of stay calm and not make mistakes. With the terrain and all that, I think we just got to back it off maybe 10% on the first two laps, get the track, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. But hopefully get a good start, put ourselves in a good position, and hopefully try to get the win. We'll see.
Calculators at the ready, jangling nerves. Verena was going to be an interesting turning point in the championship. OR1 pros, everyone looking for that whole shot this time around. The man on fire is Muddy Milan on the Everest Wealth Racing Yamaha. He got the edge out ahead of Scotty H and Johnny B. In the OR2s, Karam, absolute rocket ship off the gate. How long would he be able to stay ahead of the in-form Matty Wilson? OR3s, Kurbis Bester looking to lock down his championship here, and he got himself off to an absolute flyer. Whole shot superstar in the number 2 spot this time was Tyron Beverly. In the high school gate, Franco Ferry figuring things out on the 25 ahead of championship points leader Murray Smith, Drickus, Van der Merwe and Dylan Besadenhout. For the seniors, Jean Vulcan once again on the borrowed Husqvarna ahead of Nanda Swickers, Hugh Levy and the rest of the chasing pack. Nanda went down, she would have to do the chase down from the back of the pack. For the Masters, Farmer, Hull and Van Skalkbeek, the usual contenders, chasing into the dust in the early stages of the afternoon. For the veterans, Jeff Dan back with us, championship points leader Lars Ulrich in the 2 spots, Johan Furry and Dick Bassinger doing the chase down. And then in the stack gate of the OR1 Pro-Am, Smallberger, he needed a good gate to try and chase down onto the points leader, Ben Vessels. OR2 Pro-Ams, Nathan Godrich coming on strong, almost back to full pace once again. Ruby Rutho, Ruben Stratum, would be the man to watch out for in the championship chase with a no-show for Jaco Nordia. Jerome Stubbs, a revelation in the OR3 Pro-Am gate this season, edging out ahead of Janko van Niekerk. Back back onto the senior pro-ams, where once again Hein got the cheese. He was going to be chased down hard in the early stages by Gerard Foster and our own big Chris Homser. OR4's Jake the Snake Pretorius, but it's been Ben van Schalkwyk that's been coming on strong towards the latter half of the season. Ben was up there once again. And for the pro ladies, back into the GXCC, Zaria Farid. We chatted to her before the race. She was in great form. But points leader Bianca Edwards, Gabby Fotheringham and Twane Tiempont were going to be biting their fingernails to see who would be the top lady at the end of the day. Let's go out onto the course then and climb those ladders, starting things out with the pro-ams and the ladies. Ladies gave us good numbers out there on the gate as well. The Muirs giving us Linda in a number 7, Jans Muir in a number 6, both of them on a 1 and a 2 lap count. Up the road from them in a number 5 with Danny Wales, and then the top 4 were the championship runners, with Gabby Fotheringham staying on the lead lap, taking down a number 4 ride. Matched on equipment by Zaria Farid, who was 1 position ahead of her in 3rd place, and then Twane Tiempont on the little 125 was taking down a number 2. It was Bianca Edwards that fared best in the changeable weather conditions to take down another win on the ladies pro gate. OR4s, we saw Bryson Deister into a number 5 ride. Just ahead of him was Alexander Dillman, pinked up to the maximum. And then the top 3 were the top 3 in the championship. Chris Homser Jr. absolutely dominating that 250cc machine to get up into a number 3. Ben van Schalkwyk did stay on the lead lap, but lost time late in the race to an absolutely flying Jake the Snake Pretorius. Jake edging ever closer to that number 1 plate that he narrowly missed out on last season. In the senior pro-ams, huge numbers coming in. Woodop and Foster, though, huge runners in the championship, having to bow out after lap number 1, giving them a number 8 and a 7 position. Kurabali and De Meyer were 6 and 5, with Hendrik Buerter to a number 4. Big Chris Homser gelling well with the 450, got himself up to a number 3 position. Peter Peltzer had a great day at the office to get up onto a number 2, but once again, it was hammer time for Richard Hein, putting 10 minutes into his closest rival. He is the dominant force on this gate at the moment. Big stories in the OR3 Pro-Ams. Vanderberg and Stubbs having issues down there in a 6 and 5. Kevin Sanders rocks his way on the first time on the GXCC gate with the big triumph. Great news for the new manufacturer coming on board. Hansi Vanderberg was up to a number 3, best rider of the season for him, with Rekard Webster into a number 2. And then on the lead lap, Janko van Niekerk for Gravel Pit Racing takes down his best ride of the season, taking the win at Verena. OR2 Pro-Ams, Jean-Ray van der Merwe into a number 4. Ruby Roostradam didn't have to put on too much of a show this time. 3rd place, good enough to nail down the championship ahead of Godrich. And Henko Prinsloo takes down his best ride of the season with a big win at Verena. A no show for Jaco Nordia, changing the championship chase completely. OR1 Pro-Ams, the big dogs. Kenneth Kleinams takes the big yummy to a number 8. Stefan Labuskakny outside of the podium positions for the first time this season to a number 7. Stefan de Klerk was a number 6. And Big Mini on the big 5 honey to a number 5. Graham Engelbrecht gets back onto the Honda and takes down a number 4 ride. Luca Hall, after a big crash, recovered nicely to a number 3. And Francois Smallberger Jr. and Vessels were once again at it. The top 2 runners in the championship, separated by less than 40 seconds. But this time, once again, it was Vessels beating out on Smallberger. Vessels remains the man at the top of the charts. The changeable conditions. Tell us how it went out there.
Now I was expecting it to be a hot day full of just dust, but first lap I couldn't see a thing, so I just tried to keep my head straight, and then once the rain came down, it was nice. You can hit the corners. I enjoyed it. It was so much fun.
Was that right? It was a bit greasy out there, hey?
I fell once going on the corners. I just slipped down and hit my head hard, but it was fun though. It was challenging, but I enjoyed it.
Monet, our GXCC Iron Woman, tell me about your day at the office.
It was a rough one. It started off real nice. The track was really nice, a lot of twists and turns. But later on, it started raining and the track it got slippery. But it was still really nice. I
thought this was going to be a small bike track. I still stand by that, but yeah, all the other riders were also telling me it got very greasy and very rough.
Yeah. So first off, in the morning session, track was really nice. Got 3rd place on the 85. Then I ripped off in the afternoon session. It was rough. I got tired a lot, but yeah, just kept on going.
Let's go to the scoreboards and check things out then with a confirmation of Wessels beating out on Smallberger once again. Those are the top 2 in the championship. Hol has been coming on like a freight train though at the end of the season, this time in 3rd ahead of Engelbrecht, Mini, De Klerk, Labuskakny and Kleinams. Award 2 Pro-Am's big story of the day, a huge win coming in for Henkar Prinsloo ahead of Nathan Godrich and the points leader, Ruben Stratum. Janko van Kirk takes down the win ahead of Webster, Vanderberg, Sanders, Stubby and Vanderberg. Big story with Stubby going down hard at this event. Senior Pro-Ams, another dominant performance for Hein ahead of Paltzer. Holmser came on strong though with a great 3rd place ride ahead of Buerta and De Meyer. Forster, big story down in a number 7, only 1 lap under his belt, as well as Woodop. And Jake the Snake edging closer to that big number 1 plate, beating out on the in-form Van Skalkweg. Holmser in 3rd place. For the ladies, Edwards back on the top step ahead of championship rival Tiempont, Fourie and Fotheringham. Next up, our age group categories, where we're going to go swing off the back and chase through to see what went down for the veteran class. Willem Swickers along with Nanda. They turned up and put on a show. Swickers into a number 8 ride. Mark Nell, nice ride for him. 2 laps under his belt for a number 7 ride. A reminder that halfway through the afternoon race, the heavens opened and it got a little bit greasy out there. Jakes Muir was able to survive the conditions to a number 6 ride, and Johan Fourie, who gated well inside of the top 4, dropped only 1 position to a number 5 to eventually walk away with some good numbers. Dick Bessinger for the VW Mastercars Hatfield squad was joined by the smoker on the VW Mastercars Hatfield squad, Ian Fenter. Both of them formation flying in a 4 and a 3. Jeff Dent got the whole shot, eventually dropping back just 1 position come the end of the day. The dominant force on the Veterans Gate remains Lars Brandlin on the Alfie Cox Racing KTM, putting almost 4 minutes into his closest rival. For the Masters Gate, Francois Bosch, been around GXCC and cross-country off-road racing for so many years, managed to stay on the lead lap all of the top 8 Masters, taking down a 3-lap racing run. JJ Duval was a number 7. Conrad Sieber on the big Honda, taking down a number 6. Very consistent in his approach. After 1 lap of racing on the quads in the morning session, Francois Swanepoel got his Roost KTM up to a number 5. JJ Rousseau, who was the on-form rider at the early part of the season, drops down to a number 4 finish this time around, and the top 3 were always going to be putting on the show. Farmer got the whole shot, but the injury to his wrist started to come into play around about half race distance. He had to drop down to a number 3 come the end of play. That left Peter Hol and Warwick Van Skalkweg to eye each other up. Hol had to react as Van Skalkweg came on hard at the end, but Hol and the big Cowie were able to rebound and take back the lead to eventually win out by a matter of seconds. Senior pros, Jean Vulkin, championship leader, came home at the end of lap 1 after a big off. He would be a no-show for the rest of the day, and that would bring the championship into questions going forward into the final round. Nanda Swickers recovered from her ouchie early on off the whole shot to stay up there into a number 4 point scoring position. Fergie Mack on the Bikers Warehouse Husky got one of his best rides of the season going into a number 3. Just up the road from him was the on-form Sean Badenhorst on the Blue Crew Racing Line-X Yamaha machine. Second place, he'll be happy with that. And with a no-show for Kochi as well, the championship was going to change up in the senior pros, where Bu Levy for the Moto Klerksdorp Yamaha Racing Squad took down another win and is the dude to beat right now. For the high schools, Franco Fourie hammered the gate on the 25 on the UB Leisure KTM, but dropped down after problems on lap number 2 to a number 8. Peter Colleen on the Blue Crew Racing Yami dropped down to a number 7, also issues for him. And then up inside of the top 6, where the pace gets wild. Ebert Kursen on form. Matthias Tiempont, one of his best rides of the season, brings down a number 5 for the Gravity Racing Pro Rider, Oka Hennep. Solid numbers on one of the older 125s out there to a number 4. The Mullet Man, Liam Skierpers, takes down a number 3, one of his best rides since making the big move up into the high school 125 gate. And then the monster that is Drickus van der Merwe for Meg's Factory Racing was elbows up dicing for the lead all day long with Murray Mansmith, the championship points leader. came down to fueling strategy and fitness. And it was Murray Man that once again took the win ahead of Van der Merwe.
Peter, with your wealth of experience, take me through your day.
Yeah, no, this morning it was raining, starting to rain, and I thought, I wonder if we're going to have rain. And I looked at the track when we got here, and I see you got to stay in the track here. But what an awesome track Vian put for us together. It was really awesome. I enjoyed it. Wayne got the whole shot, kept me busy for the first round like always. And then he faded a bit, and I passed him. And then Warwick came. So these two guys, they cahooting against me, I think, because Wayne is always in the start keeping me busy, and then Warwick comes later. But me and Warwick had a hectic last round. We were fighting it out. He was gaining on me, and I was giving it all. So well done, Warwick, and it was a great race.
Let's confirm those numbers then in our age group classes. Murray Man-Smith hammering the nail ahead of Van der Merwe. Those are the guys dicing it out for the big numbers. Skeepers improves his lot with a number 3 spot ahead of Hennep and Tienpont. For the senior pros, Bu Levy, the on-form rider at the moment, takes down yet another win ahead of Badenhorst, McAdam, Swickers and Vilkum. Big story in the day, no show for Kochi. For the Masters Gate, the top 3 are the top 3 best in the country at the moment. Hall, Van Skalkwyk and Farmer, Rousseau, Swanepoel, Sieber, De Waal and Bosch doing the chase down. For our veterans class, Lars Brandlin absolutely dominating this season's championship. Jeff Den not quite at full fitness. He'll be happy with his number 2 ride ahead of Ian Fenter and Bessinger, with Fourie locking down a top 5. Hold your breath, because it's time to go into the pro categories, where we're going to see if we can lock down some championships. Estienne Kutzer up to a number 8. Problems for him on the day. Sharon Moore back into racing on the Triumph Factory machine. Takes down a number 7 ride. He'll be happy with that, just kicking off the cobwebs. Hanya de Kock starting to gel nicely with the Brits Racing Honda. Takes down a number 6. Jean-Dre from Mark, comfortable with his Yami now, to a number 5. He's been inside the top 6 the last couple of races, starting to build his momentum. Coming back from an early season knee injury, Cam Becker takes the Pepsi Plastics Cowie up to a number 4 ride. And the top 3 are the top 3 in the championship. Tyron Beverly, second out of the whole shot, had to drop down to a number 3. Also a rider coming back from mid-season injuries. He'll be relatively happy with his run of form there. Derek Karam, style for miles out there on the UB Leisure Racing KTM, took down a number 2. He'll be happy with that ride. And then the privateer, Kurbis Bester, who's been running high overalls and hammering the competition in the OR3 Pro 250cc category, takes down yet another win, and that was enough for him to wrap up his championship as well. OR2 Pros, CD Goosen, 8th place, one of his lowest finishes of the season. Gav Young on the big Fantic machine drops down to a number 7. Stoff Berger in his first pro season, impressing many people with yet another top 6 ride. He was dicing things out with Timmy Black, the rider that travels the length and breadth of the country from KZN to come and chase GXCC Racing Glory. Benru Stratum, slightly off form at this round, normally running high up in the numbers. Number 5 should see him remain inside that top 6 for the championship. Timmy Black, no problems for him in the changeboard conditions. The KZN native taking down a number 4. Xander King, 3rd place, keeps him into that number 2 spot in the championship. The top 2 runners, though, Karam and Wilson, are runaways on the day, hammering the competition. Karam on the UB Leisure Racing KTM could do nothing, though, to chase onto the form of Matty Wilson on the factory Brother Leader Trade KTM. By the end of the flag, it was over 5 minutes, the big gap. And then in the Pro OR1, big bangers, the Rooster, Rudy Vieira, one big crash on the day, losing his back brakes, still able to muscle the 500 to a top 6 ride. The Rockstar, Vian Wenzel, takes the Cowie up to a number 5, and as with the previous event, the Cowie's running formation flying in 4 and 5 with JC Nienober on a number 4. John Buerter, the best of the rest at the moment, into a number 3 ride on the factory Husqvarna under the Bikers Warehouse colours. But the top 2 on the track and in the championship, Scotty H takes down a number 2 this time. Just could not hang with the pace of Muddy Milan on the Everest Wealth Racing Yamaha. Milan taking down the last 2 wins coming out of the remaining 2 Delmas events. And here at Verena takes down another win. That's 3 for 3 for Milan.
Matty, I know you're still buzzing there, but tell me about that one, because that was a race of 2 halves, eh?
Dude, yeah, it was obviously got off to a great start thanks to Dunlop tyres hooking me up. Yeah, the Yamaha got off to a great start, and I knew that it would be tough for the guys behind in the dust. So if I could just execute the start, which we managed to do, yeah, it was a race of 2 halves, bro. The last lap was gnarly because the goggles were messing up because the rain had already gotten behind them. And then you're warping and you're coming out of every turn, dude. And like for 50 Ks, you're warping and warping and warping. So it was great, dude. I got to give a shout out to my team, Everest, Wealth, Ridgeway Racing, Yamaha, all our sponsors. Honestly, I felt really good today. And big thank you to my team boss, Harry. He's in China, but he's back on Monday. And yeah, this is for him. So yeah, great day, feeling awesome. Looking forward to the National. And yeah, big thanks to my sponsors, big thanks to the man up above. He kept me safe today. We had a couple moments, but yeah, if it wasn't for God, none of this would be possible, so thank you.
Scotty H, this came down to the whole shot. You didn't quite get it, but you ran the numbers.
Yeah, no, obviously I didn't get out the gate quite as good as I'd like, but that's racing. And of course, the first few Ks I realized that the dust was going to be quite a factor today. And I had a few sketchy moments in the dust. And then I just decided to play it safe. Obviously, I do have an advantage because I do have a points lead at the moment in the title chase. So yeah, I just thought let me just settle down, and if an opportunity presents itself, I'll capitalize. But obviously, Maddie was riding really good today, so I just put down the laps and just enjoyed myself, to be honest. And yeah. Can't just give it up to Kev, the whole Brother Leader Trade KTM team, to Vian and the crew for setting up an awesome venue, to the Lord blessing us with some rain. It's much needed. And yeah, obviously now we'll buckle down and head to the final round, which is the National and GXCC combined. So we look forward to that, and hopefully we can get the job done there.
Maddie, I know you love these conditions. Take us through it.
Yeah, I know. Today was fun, Matt? Peter got the jump on me. I just cruised the first few Ks. I was like, let's get a rhythm because it was dusty this morning, And then after that, I got close to Peter. Yes, we had a lacquer race for a bit, and then I got past him. And then the rain showed up, and that was lacquer, yes. It cooled things down, it made it more interesting. The track, you said those marbles were slippery this morning. After that rain, it was proper slippery. But no, that was very fun.
What about vision? Everyone was didn't know what to do with their goggles.
Oh, it was fun. I didn't change one set of goggles. I used the same set the whole race. My Red Dot Extreme goggles really impressed me today. So no, I was happy. I didn't even have to wipe them. I saw the whole time. Didn't get sketchy because of vision. So yeah, really happy.
Curvis, a big number 1. You've got to be stoked on that because that wasn't an easy championship.
It started off quite hard, but made it through the year. I can't ask for a better season than this, so I'm happy.
Tell me about the year and tell me about these conditions today.
I was hoping it was going to come rain because I hate the dust, so I'm happy with this. The season went well. 1, 2, 3, so it went well.
GXCC, you come to life, also running good numbers at the Nationals as well, so this year is a good one for you.
Yeah, no, this was a good one. Hopefully next year can be better.
Chaz, been a while. How did the magic feel?
Yeah, it was a tough day out there. What's that saying? The older I get, the faster I was. No, it's good to be back racing again. I think I've got a lot of work to get back onto pace, but it's really cool to be here with the guys from Triumph. There's a whole bunch of guys new on the bikes, learning, and experiencing racing again for the first time. So for me, it also feels like a rebirth of racing. So I'm super excited and glad to be a part of the racing again.
You remember these things? And the track layouts, they've changed quite a lot. They've got quite tech now.
Yeah, it's super tight and twisty and super safe out there. The guys are really putting in a lot of effort to make sure that the racing is good. And the weather pulled in, so it made it super tricky. So yeah, it was really a cool day. So thanks to Vian and the whole team and the GXCCs for putting something really cool together.
What's on the cards for the future? Because obviously this is the very beginning.
Yeah, I think fitness. I think I might go to the gym and put down the beers and try and get my life together. Obviously Triumph has launched the Enduro bike, so the priority is Enduro. Next up is Roof of Africa. We're going to tackle the Silver Class with this little Triumph bad boy, and then next year do some national Enduros and the odd race here and there. So the whole plan is just to introduce people to the bike and see what we can get it to do.
Crazy scenes out of Verena as the weather came in, but the pace went up. Milan goes 3 for 3 at the later half of the season to win out once again ahead of Haygate, Buerta, Ninoba, Wenzel and Vieira. Wilson hammers the competition, also takes down his championship with 1 round in his pocket on the day ahead of Karam, King, Black, Stratum, Berger, Young, and Hurston. And in the OR, 3 pros. Another win for Bester, and he takes down his big number 1 plate here with 1 round remaining on the day ahead of Derek Karam, Beverly, Becker, Vermaak, De Kock, Charon Moore, and Kutzer. With just 1 round remaining, we get ourselves ready to go forward to the 15th of November up in Limpopo at the Carosel for a combination race, GXCCs, and the final round of the Nationals that draws a flag over 2025. All this GXCC racing action is proudly brought to you by VW Mastercars Hatfield in association with Vans Racing.
All right, so that was Verena, and there is one more round of the GXCCs to go. So what is left on the championship calendar? This weekend, Hollywood here is going to go down. I'll be on the mic at the penultimate round of the Rally Raid Championship in Vryheid. That's in the KZN Midlands, so I'm super excited about that. That will take us to the end of the racing month of October. November is going to be pretty wild. A gentle start to November, but then on the 15th of November, it's going to be the final round of the GXCCs, which will combine with the final round of the SACCs. That's the National Championship for the motorbikes. So it's going to be a super busy one up at the Carosel. Vion and the Mahonies, they're working together to understand how that's all going to go down. So we'll just have to wait and they can tell us how that's all going to happen, but I'm sure it's going to be an absolute belter. The weekend after that is Roof of Africa, so I'll be up there for that one. And then we pretty much start wrapping things up for the championships and start thinking about putting on some tuxedos and some pointy shoes and getting ready for all the prize giving. So hang in there, guys. We're in the closing stages of 2025. Oh, and by the way, if you hadn't seen my news, Hollywood is going to Dakar. Super stoked. Thanks for all the support out there, guys. It's been really kind of you. I'm going to do the best job I can for all of us here on SA Shores and keep the flag high. So super stoked to go get my feet in the sand.